All right, man, peace. So, brothers, as the LeBron James fanboys and the NBA media try to hypothesize about which players would want to come play with their boo thing, LeBron James, it's becoming more and more apparent that the more prominent stars in the league want to do their own thing on their own teams. That brings us to Mr. Kawhi Leonard, who has been able to operate pretty much under the radar because he created an archetype for himself, a personality archetype, where he's made the media feel uncomfortable approaching him on topics, even including basketball. And we have to understand that in life, once you establish a certain personality archetype for yourself, it's very difficult to change that. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant have always been players who have been relatively open with the media. Now they're frustrated that the media is taking advantage of the archetype that they created for themselves and is attributing a certain level of toxicity to them, when for the most part all they've done is try to play basketball. That is what's going to happen when you make yourself transparent. Kawhi Leonard has never made himself transparent, so therefore we hear no talk about any toxicity in the locker room in Toronto due to Kawhi Leonard, even though he's in the same exact position as Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Imagine if Kevin Durant has sat out 25 games this year due to load management. They'd be calling him the most toxic player in the NBA. They'd be saying, who are you to criticize LeBron James for being toxic when you're doing that? But because Kawhi Leonard has never ever given them the key into his mind, that affords him a certain amount of space and room to operate outside of the realm of criticism. So great job by him. Now Brian Windhorst, who we all know as the astute reporter who basically acts as a double agent for the NBA media world and Clutch Sports, is stating that Kawhi Leonard plans on leaving the Raptors and heading out to the West Coast. The only question is, which team in LA does he plan to sign with? Is it the Lakers or the Clippers? They're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
That was Brian Windhorst on the jump talking about Kawhi's potential free agent decision this offseason. We welcome back the stars of Around the Horn, Woody Page, Tony Rowley. Great to still have you guys with us. Who wants to take this one? Who's up first?
I got it.
You got it, Woody?
He's not going to...
Woody, I got it. I got to say something before I pass out.
I lost interest. I started looking at the river when the two of you talked, so I really didn't pay attention.
Thinking about taking a dip in
I'll
there,
see if you can do a better job.
All right.
And I worked with all these guys. I know what it's like.
All right, thank you.
Kawhi is not going to the Lakers. And people talk, oh, he wants to go to the Lakers because you say West Coast, it must be the Lakers. Well, there's other teams on the West Coast.
What about the Clippers?
That's where he's going. He doesn't want to go and be second fiddle to LeBron James.
Agreed.
That's not what his career's about.
I don't think that any of the top players in the league want to go and be second fiddle to LeBron James. The perception that the NBA stars have about LeBron is totally different from the image that gets propagated by the NBA media. It's totally different. I think that of the top 10 players in the league, they all think that they're right there on the level with LeBron James. That was not the case with Michael Jordan. And that's not to say that the prominent players back in the 90s did not believe that they could beat Michael Jordan. I think that they all did. If David Robinson were to have led the Spurs to the finals, I'm sure that he would have believed that his team had a chance to beat the Bulls. If Hakeem was able to lead the Rockets to the finals, I'm sure that they would have felt like they would have beaten the Bulls. Charles Barkley, Clyde Drexler, Magic, Gary Payton, Karl Malone, John Stockton, they all felt like they were going to beat Chicago, but they never truly believed that they were as good as or better than Jordan because they knew that his success rate, his proficiency in clutch moments was non-real. When it comes to LeBron, these players have grown up watching him in 2010 against the Celtics flame out. They watched him in 2011 against the Mavericks have the biggest meltdown of any superstar in the history of the NBA. That's still at the forefront of their mind. They watched the 2013 finals that LeBron James won, and they know the only reason why he won that finals is because Ray Allen hit a magical jump shot in the corner of the basketball floor. They saw in 2016 how it took a Draymond Green suspension and a litany of injuries that befell the Warriors in the last 3 games for the Cavaliers to be able to win Game 7 in Oracle in basically the last possession. They think about that stuff. Kevin Durant believes he's better than LeBron. Giannis believes he's better. James Harden, Kawhi, they all believe that they're better than him. So there's no need for them to go play with the Lakers to do what? To help LeBron James' legacy?
He's low profile, he's low key, he was okay in Toronto, and I think he actually likes it there and likes his role there. But he is not going to go into that mess at the Lakers. He is going to go to the Clippers where you have a coach that he would trust. You've got some players. I mean, playing with Williams, you think he'd love to play with Williams. So I don't think there's any way he ends up with the Lakers.
Lou Williams is a very potent scorer, but he's a bench player. That's what he is. If Kawhi goes out to the Clippers, me personally, I think that he'd probably be making a mistake. Unless he's heading there with another great player, another really potent player that he could team up with. I think that he's better off in Toronto. I think that it would be an easier path for him to get to the finals, even though the top level of the Eastern Conference is as good as the top level of the Western Conference. The East is not as deep. So that means that he's not going to be facing any real threats in the first round. Look at the Western Conference in the first round. The 3-6 matchup, the 2-7 matchup. Both those series might go 7 games. The Golden State Warriors have already lost a game in their 1-8 matchup, albeit through a miracle comeback, but they still lost. I also think that the NBA would prefer if Kawhi stayed in the East, so that there's more of an even distribution between the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference when it comes to your top players. You don't want everybody coming west. LeBron already came west. That caused a huge paradigm shift when he went from east to west. So that's why I also think that they will like it if KD goes east to the New York Knicks, because it will provide a balance. You have LeBron in LA, KD in New York, and if by some miracle they could get the Lakers to face off against the Knicks in the finals, that would be great for the league when it comes to ratings and things of that nature.
Let me stir this conversation, because this is where we get into LeBron and Kawhi Leonard, the potential of that being a MJ Scottie Pippen thing, right? This is what people have been talking about.
Right, but who will be MJ and who will be Pippen? Because Kawhi and LeBron are far closer in skill set than Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen were.
Let me.
Look, what I brought up.
Yeah, okay, that's right. No.
I was planning on picking it up.
No. The only reason I was asking is because of which block I wasn't sure. Here's the deal. Ain't no way in hell that's going to be the case. And I'm going to tell you why.
Do you agree with
If you're Kawhi Leonard, you don't want to play with LeBron.
Agreed.
No matter how phenomenal appearing that appears to be, and I know Max disagrees, that's why I'm going first with this. Here's why. Because LeBron is ball dominant when he's at his best.
Agreed.
That ain't what Kawhi wants, in my opinion.
Not just your opinion, it's very apparent. All you have to do is watch Kawhi Leonard play in Toronto, and you know that he models his offensive game after Kobe and Jordan. It's going to be very difficult for him to be able to play with a player like a LeBron James, who always has to be the lead guy.
So I would be surprised if Kawhi ended up with the Lakers instead of the Clippers for that reason. And that's why I don't see the two being comparable.
He's not going to go to...
And I think that Kawhi would consider that an insult. Even to say that him and LeBron would be a new Jordan Pippen. I don't think that Kawhi considers himself a Scottie Pippen offensively. And that's where the problem will come. I'm sure that LeBron will have no issue with Kawhi playing the Scottie Pippen role on defense. But LeBron is nowhere near Michael Jordan on defense at this point in his career. So it will fall short on the defensive end as well.
Go to the Lakers, but he should go to the Lakers. And the reason he should go to the Lakers,
is to help your boo.
He doesn't want to play second fiddle. But, it's like the devil goes down to Georgia, Woody. Woody, you'll get that reference. If you fiddle good enough, then you should be able to win a championship in Toronto right now. They are loaded. So if he's really first...
Their issue is their point guard. You're never going to be able to win a championship with Kyle Lowry at your point guard. Sorry. When they made that trade for Gasol, and they were trying to also bring in Mike Conley, that might have put them over the top. If they could have gotten Mike Conley in that trade where they acquired Gasol, that might have put them over the top.
Fiddle. If he can out-fiddle anyone, then he should be able to win a championship now. Let me tell you something. I don't think Toronto's going to win the championship
I don't think so either.
Right now.
Because in your heart of heart, you know they ain't loaded.
Because as great as Kawhi is, he can be first fiddle on a championship team-ish. He's not LeBron, quite. LeBron is a little bit of a different level. LeBron and Kawhi would be like a version of Jordan and Pippen. Now, Pippen...
LeBron offensively is more of a stat stuffer than Kawhi. But defensively, it's not even close. And, these so-called experts, they never factor in the defensive component.
LeBron's really a souped-up Pippen. And Kawhi, even though he plays defense, doesn't pass it like this. More of a Pippen. Yeah, okay. More of a scorer like Jordan. But the point is, everyone talks about the history of the NBA. You need the point guard in the center. Actually, the most dominant pairings have been the pairings with two-way wings. Yep. That's the quickest way. Who do the Clippers have you're going to pair with Kawhi Leonard? That's as good as LeBron James being can lock down the best perimeter scorer.
I'll say this. Watch for the Lakers to try to acquire Kawhi as a free agent and trade for Anthony Davis. And if they're successful in doing that, they might certainly become the favorite to win next year's championship if they can pull that off. That's why the New Orleans Pelicans hiring David Griffin is so pivotal right now.
On the other team, every single night, also be the primary option to score on the other end. Yeah. And LeBron can be orchestrating the whole thing. That would be the best combination in the NBA since when? There are only a few candidates, Shaq and Kobe.
I would say that. I agree with that. If they were to get LeBron James paired with Kawhi Leonard, they'd probably be the best wings that have been paired together since LeBron and D Wade. I give them that.
Wade and LeBron, even though Wade was a little past it, Jordan and Pippen.
Well, LeBron is a bit past it right now.
I'm going to jump on something you said, Stephen A. They can't play together. LeBron is too ball dominant. Is it not in LeBron's best interest at this point, missing the playoffs, having an easier time filling out his Space Jam 2 roster than his Lakers roster right now, and he's failing at that too? Isn't it his best interest to evolve his game a little bit?
I think.
Right, but the question is, can he evolve? Can he evolve? When a lion gets older, it might not be in his best interest to continue to hunt antelope and elephant. But a lion is programmed to be a lion. LeBron is programmed to lead. He's programmed to dominate the basketball. He's not someone who's going to be a Steph Curry or Kevin Durant and utilize constant movement without the ball. It's just not him.
I think it is in his best interest, but that doesn't mean that it's something that he's capable of doing.
Agreed.
We have this mindset that LeBron.
Well, that takes work.
We have this mindset that LeBron is capable of everything. Understand that it's not to say that he hasn't given up the ball before, because he has. Mm-hmm. But one of the things we were hearing when Kawhi Leonard was talking about when there was a dissipated level of interest supposedly in playing for LeBron, even though if you listen to LeBron,
playing for LeBron, I'm playing with LeBron. That might have been a Freudian slip.
LeBron camps, Kawhi Leonard is very interested to come playing with him. So it all depends on who you believe.
If you let LeBron or his camp tell you Michael Jordan is interested in coming out of retirement to play with LeBron James.
But what you were hearing is that
I think that during the All-Star break, LeBron probably approached Kawhi and was like, yo, so, you want to come play with me? And Kawhi was, I don't know, we'll see. And, just gassed up LeBron to make him think that he's going to come out there to be a nice guy. The All-Star weekend has become a big fraternization of various free agents to ask if they want to come do a sleepover next season. It's like a bunch of damn schoolgirls trying to organize a sleepover. It's a bunch of bullshit.
That Kawhi Leonard knows that LeBron is at his best when the ball is in his hands and he's making all the decisions, and usually the teams are at their best, but that doesn't work for Kawhi.
But wait a minute, hold on.
That's what you're hearing.
But real quick, that actually would work for Kawhi and for LeBron better than anyone LeBron's ever played with. Kyrie over dribbles. Kawhi does not. Kawhi's not a passer. That's the one part of his game that's really not elite. LeBron is. LeBron on the ball making decisions with Kawhi as his primary scoring option, that would work perfectly.
Right, but who says that Kawhi wants LeBron James to be the primary scoring option? Right now, Kawhi's averaging about 27 points per game with the Toronto Raptors, and Kyle Lowry does not even want to shoot the basketball. How far are Kawhi Leonard's numbers going to fall playing alongside LeBron James and potentially with an Anthony Davis as well? I don't think that that's what he wants for his career right now. I think that Kawhi is in his late 20s and he wants to have a few seasons where he averages 28 points per game, being the best player on the team. I mean, it might sound selfish, but I do believe that is one of his focuses.
Wait. You guys are here every day. Let us have a moment here. If we can. It makes all the points you're making are actually very good, but you're missing out. There's a major point you're missing out of. The coach. If the coach is not going to put in a system, guess what all those guys... Agreed.
Good job, Woody Page, because they are going to be playing in the LeBron James system.
All those guys you brought up most of them had the same coach. And really, when you think about it, if the two candidates...
Phil Jackson.
Absolutely, yeah. So you need a Phil Jackson type. The two candidates...
And LeBron has never shown that he wants to play in a real system for a real coach.
They're talking about with the Lakers, one is an assistant coach, nice guy, good coach. The other guy, we've already seen this act in Cleveland. How did that work out?
They won a championship.
They won a championship. But was he really coaching the team? I think you go back to Bob Cousy. Bob Cousy was a coach player at the end of his career. Why doesn't LeBron just go ahead and
The answer to that, Woody Page, is very easy. LeBron really wants to be the coach behind the scenes. He does not want to be the coach on camera because he does not want to face the blame. He does not want to face the shrapnel of criticism, as Stephen A. Smith would say, from the media that he would receive if the Lakers went on a 5-game losing streak. He would not know how to handle that.
Woody, I understand, but I think it's very unfair what you're saying in regards to Ty Lue, and here's why. Phil Jackson won 6 rings. He had Jordan, he had Pippen. Phil Jackson won 5 more rings. He had Shaq, he had Kobe. We recognize his greatness, but Ty Lue takes the Cavaliers to 3 consecutive NBA finals. He wins a championship, and then people question, did he really coach? We don't.
Well, here's the problem with that, Stephen A. Smith. When Phil Jackson came on to coach the Bulls, he changed their entire offensive system and he made Michael Jordan conform to his ideologies. When Phil Jackson went to the Lakers, he changed their entire offensive system and made Shaq and Kobe conform to his ideologies. What exactly did Ty Lue change when he took over for David Blatt? He might have changed a couple of offensive sets, but for the most part, it became LeBron James basketball. And then on top of that, as soon as LeBron leaves, Ty Lue gets removed. So at the end of the day, you cannot equate the effect that Ty Lue may have had with the effect that Phil Jackson had, especially when their winning percentage was actually better with David Blatt, and David Blatt got them to the championship round with LeBron James.
We don't say that about Phil.
Well, here's the difference. LeBron James had won a championship before he ever was coached by Ty Lue.
He won with Eric Spoelstra.
However,
and D-Wade and Bosh.
However, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen had never won a championship without Phil Jackson. Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Pau Gasol never won a championship before Phil Jackson. So, and yet Jordan had come out and said, Phil Jackson taught me how to be a champion. LeBron,
Yes, because Phil Jackson made Michael Jordan trust his teammates. Michael Jordan was able to reach the Eastern Conference Finals before Phil Jackson got there, though.
If anything, taught Ty Lue as much about being a champion as vice versa, right?
This is the red herring, guys. This is so far out from where the Lakers are not going to win the championship or even make the playoffs because of a new coach. They're not. They're gonna anything that they do.
Well, I agree with that because a new coach is not going to be allowed to change the system anyway. They're going to run the LeBron James system no matter who's there. That's why LeBron does not want to play for Greg Popovich, because Popovich is going to make his ass really play basketball and not LeBron James street ball. So the real question is, who are they going to be able to lure into the Lakers? Are they going to be able to sign Kawhi and trade for Anthony Davis? Or are they going to end up trying to sign Kemba Walker or Jimmy Butler or somebody like that?
Do going forward is going to be because of LeBron James evolving as a player. Maybe even evolving as a leader.
But doesn't know he's going to play. If you can get him to do it, who else is going to get him to do it?
He needs to do it himself.
That's not going to happen at 34 years old, dude.
Who's going to get him to do it? Because you don't just do it yourself as a player.
Agreed.
There's a reason why some of...
LeBron has built up too many bad habits since he's left Miami. He's like a child who's been given the run of the house.
Some of the greatest give credit when you talk about the bad boy business. They rap about
evolved as a player.
But they talk about coaches helping them along. Because if they didn't respect the coach, they wouldn't have done
Hold on. Why does he? If LeBron plays the way LeBron's been playing the last several years,
because he can't.
Which means no defense until it matters, and then a little defense, right. and orchestrating the offense. And you give him. There's no such thing as a player in history can win without another All-Star.
Well, Hakeem Olajuwon did it in 1994, but to your credit, that was also an era where most of the competition only had one All-Star on the team. So I understand what you're getting at.
LeBron James, another All-Star. He's going to make noise in the playoffs. You give him another MVP level player, he's going to get to the finals. That's Kawhi Leonard. We knew that.
I believe in 1994 the Knicks had 2 All-Stars. They had Ewing and they also had Starks. They might have even had 3 because I think Oakley may have even made the All-Star team. But I mean, those are not real All-Stars as in scoring threats. But Olajuwon was able to win a championship with only one All-Star, that being himself.
The East, we don't know that in the West.
I'm telling you, it's going to happen if he had.
We knew that at age 30.
You're not getting
at age 35. That's my point. That's why the evolution.
The player he needs, though, is the player he wanted. That's Anthony Davis, and you guys are dismissing that possibility. Anthony Davis would have that.
No, he's going to be. Anthony Davis is beginning of the year. Yeah. He won't be there next year.
We're talking about next year now.
Well, I'm telling you that it's not Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard still wants to be a quiet man.
Agreed. That's a great point.
Quiet on the Western Front. he is going to go to the Clippers because there is no team that's quieter on the West Coast than the Clippers are.
Agreed.
So are the Lakers going to get anyone this summer?
Yeah, the other element, well, first of all, that's been my biggest fear, that the Lakers end up with no one.
Yeah,
Well, is that your biggest fear for? You work for them?
I'd like to hear this from you. What do you hear?
Listen, I think it's possible they could end up with no one. Who you going to get?
That'd be funny as hell.
Klay Thompson's talking about that is probably going to stay in Golden State.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, they're talking about New York or Brooklyn. Yeah. They're also New York.
Yeah.
You're talking about Kawhi Leonard. He's talking about the Clippers or staying in Toronto. What are you going to get? Kemba Walker, Kyrie Irving? We don't know. Yeah. So the point that I'm trying to make to you is, here's the thing about your Clippers. Not only can they get Kawhi, they're expecting to have cap space and be able to bring somebody with them.
That was the point, is when you go there and you see what they have available,
and then you have Jerry West as the brain trust there.
It's a better alternative.
That's right. That's probably what's going to happen. I'm saying what should happen. Kawhi should go to the Lakers.
No, you're saying what you hope would happen.
Right.
But anyway, that's basically it on that. I'm sure that Kawhi Leonard will continue to do what he's been doing, that being handling himself and his career with a great amount of prudence. And that's very important, especially if you have the personality type that he has. So peace.